Now, with a 31% share of the global market, Apple's iPad is by far the most popular tablet in the world, and for good reason. Whether you're a student, professional, or creative, the iPad is a great all-round tool that opens you up to a whole new world of digital computing. Now, while the choices between picking an iPad versus other tablets are very simple for most people, the real challenge comes when it comes to trying to pick the best iPad for you. With Apple releasing new versions of each tablet every single year in a variety of different sizes and specs, buying the best iPad for yourself or as a gift for others can be really confusing. And that's why in today's video, we're going to be going through the best iPads to buy right now in 2022 according to your use case. And if you do like this video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel and turning on that bell notification for more comparison tech videos like this. With all that being said, let's jump right into things with our first category, which is the most powerful iPad that you can possibly buy right now. Now, if you're a working professional who just wants the most powerful iPad regardless of the price, then you should definitely get the iPad Pro 12.9 inch 5th gen. I picked up one of these with the latest Magic Keyboard, and it was a huge upgrade over my previous iPad. The tag Pro in the name of this iPad is definitely not there for nothing, because this tablet was designed from the ground up with pro users in mind. With a blend of power, performance, and stunning visuals, the iPad Pro has everything you could possibly need from a tablet. The iPad Pro is available in a stunning 12.9 inch Liquid Retina XDR display, and with this you can watch HDR content and watch one of the most vivid and bright pictures that you'll ever see on an iPad display. The difference between this screen and my previous iPad is pretty huge. If you're a photo or video editor, this is especially helpful as you'll be able to edit your footage perfectly thanks to the accuracy of the colors on its display. Now, with Apple's new Stage Manager feature, connecting your iPad to an external monitor is now easier than ever, and you'll get a full screen extended display on an external monitor with the options to add other iPads or Macs to your workflow through universal control. And I do this all the time for work. Now, the cameras on this iPad are also top of the line, with LiDAR scanners on the back for accurate measuring and document scanning, and center stage in the front-facing camera for the best video calling experience. The iPad Pro is truly a jack of all trades and master of all. If you have the money, there truly is no better tablet experience anywhere on the market than the 2021 iPad Pro 12.9 inch, at least until the next gen comes out. Now, swinging from one extreme to the other, if you don't need the biggest and best tablet out there, but would rather have something that's small and cute, yet still very much capable, you definitely want to check out the iPad mini. In 2021, Apple finally refreshed the iPad mini range, giving it a new stunning design to match the rest of the iPad lineup. This all-new 8.3 inch Retina display iPad is Apple's best attempt yet to bring the amazing iPad experience down to a smaller form factor. If you have a tablet that you can easily take with you when you're traveling, something to play games on a long flight, read a book while you're on the commute, or even draw while you're out and about thanks to its Apple Pencil 2 support, then the iPad mini is a great choice for you. Also, because Apple significantly improved the specs on this generation of the iPad mini, it's beefy enough to handle most productivity tasks. Pair this with a decent budget keyboard and mouse, and you could be doing some serious work in a very compact form factor. The size of the iPad mini also makes it a perfect content consumption device. It's small enough to hold while lying down on the bed without fear of it falling onto your nose, but it's also big enough for you to enjoy whatever you're watching without needing to squint. It's also perfect for students or anyone really who just wants that smaller EDC. This tablet is so small that it can literally fit in any bag, whether it's a sling bag or even medium-sized purses. Just chuck this thing in and you'll be on your merry way. You can even hold it in your hand together with a pile of books while your other hand is busy with your coffee. In the dorm room setting, the iPad mini can act as an Apple home device to control all of your smart home devices, or even act as a dedicated music player when connected to an external speaker. And thanks to the fact that this device has finally been updated with USB-C charging, you can easily charge this with the same chargers that you use for your MacBook. The iPad mini is also the perfect companion for people who use smaller iPhones. Together, they make a great pair. You can use your iPhone when you're on the go and you just need something to communicate with. And then the iPad mini, once you're settled and want to enjoy some content or scroll through social media on a slightly bigger screen. All in all, for less than $500, you're getting a very capable tablet equipped with all of Apple's latest and greatest tablet features, including center stage for video calls that track your face. If you're looking for the best value iPad, then look no further than the iPad Air. Apple's Air line of devices have always been known to provide the most value. Just look at the MacBook Air for reference. The iPad Air 5th gen is no different. Last year, Apple updated the iPad Air with new features that everyone had been asking for. With a new design with tiny bezels, squared off edges, and USB-C charging support, last year's iPad Air is still a steal even now in 2022. So when Apple released the 2022 2 version of the Air, people had high expectations, and thankfully, all of those expectations were met and surpassed. The iPad Air 5 is not that much different from its predecessor, with its size, display, rear camera, and speakers being the exact same as those on the Air 4. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the Air 4 was a huge upgrade from previous generations and features some really impressive hardware. Apple made 2 major changes to the Air 5. They added the ultra-fast M1 chip, yep, the same one that's on flagship computers, and 5G connectivity. And all this for the same price as last year's model for the Wi-Fi only version, or just $20 extra for the 5G version. Thanks to the M1 chip, the iPad Air is also capable of Stage Manager, which, like we've mentioned before, is iPad OS's new and improved desktop manager feature that only works on M1-powered iPads. You also get huge performance boosts, making the Air 5 an even better option for productivity and creativity than the Air 4. The only downside to this tablet is that it still has a 60Hz refresh rate screen. For most people, this won't be a huge problem, but if you're just getting the tablet as a content consumption device, then we honestly doubt that you'll notice the difference. For most people, this isn't going to be a problem. If you're just getting the tablet as a content consumption device, then I honestly doubt you're going to notice any difference at all. However, if you're getting this to take lots of notes or draw, basically if you're going to be doing lots of work with Apple Pencil, then I'd highly suggest you consider getting an iPad with a 120Hz screen. That difference is noticeable when using the Apple Pencil, but not much anywhere else. Some other differences between the iPad Air and Pro include the use of Touch ID on the Air, while the Pro still uses Face ID, just like it has since 2018. Speaking of 2018, here's a bonus iPad for you really quickly. The iPad Pro 2018 was the first iPad Pro to ditch the home button in favor of a more squared out design with minimal bezels. The A12X Bionic chip that was in this iPad is still really powerful today, and I actually hung on to my iPad Pro 2018 until I upgraded to the latest version of the Pro. If you're looking for an iPad that has a ProMotion display, which is Apple's fancy way of saying it has a 120Hz refresh rate, but you don't want to break the bank on the really expensive iPad Pro 22, then you should definitely consider getting the iPad Pro 2018 used or refurbished. For less than $500, you're getting a really capable tablet that's still very competitive even in today's market. Trust me when I say if you get this even today, you definitely won't regret it. Now, I have to mention though that the one downside to getting older hardware is that you miss out on some of the newer features like Center Stage and Stage Manager. But if you can do without those 2 features, then the Pro 2018 is definitely killer value even in 2022. Finally, if you're simply looking for the most affordable iPad out there, then at close to $300, the iPad 9th Gen is definitely the one to go with. If you look past its outdated appearance, the iPad is definitely a great tablet, much better than anything that you can get at this price today. Surrounded by so many other great iPads, one might ask, why choose this budget iPad at all? Well, there are a couple of reasons, and all of them are in some way tied to its low price. This iPad comes with a 10.2-inch screen, so if the 8.3 inches you get with the iPad mini just isn't quite good enough, you can bump up that screen size slightly while actually bringing the cost down, which is pretty incredible. And the screen on the iPad is not bad either. Yes, it doesn't have the ProMotion or Liquid Retina XDR, but it's a really good Retina display nonetheless, which is still great for watching content. Also, if you are one of those people who love the home button, then this is the only current gen iPad that you can get that still has that. And while the giant bezels might seem unappealing, they actually serve as great positions to place your hand while holding the tablet in landscape mode. You do get what you pay for though in many aspects. This tablet still has features like the Lightning port as opposed to USB-C, and it doesn't have support for Apple Pencil 2, although you can still use the older Apple Pencil if you want that functionality. On the bright side, the front camera on this features Center Stage, which is a feature that the iPad Pros, even from barely 2 years ago, lack. If you're on a budget or you want to get something you can carry around with you without being too worried about what happens to it, or perhaps you want to give it to someone as a present on a budget, or maybe your kids or your parents, the iPad 9th Gen is a great option at an affordable price. And with that, we've come to the end of today's tech comparison video. For more on the best devices to get, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Thanks so much for watching, thanks so much for subscribing, and I'll catch you again in the next video.